Have you ever felt this way before?
My reaction is that free speech not only lives, it rocks.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
Oprah this way!
Right here. I got it.
I couldn't have gotten through this. This has been a very difficult and stressful time.
Oprah. We love you, Oprah. We love you, Oprah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, Oprah, you've told so many fibs over the years. How can we keep track? So most recently, Oprah Winfrey has been called out for using weight loss medication, despite being a long-time ambassador for Weight Watchers. Seriously, the two are synonymous. The famous talk show host has confirmed she uses an unnamed thing to help her control her weight. In a revealing chat, she said her new slim figure is thanks to the medication and obviously a healthier lifestyle overall. She said, I now use it as I feel I need it, as a tool to manage not yo-yoing. She said the fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight in my lifetime feels like a relief, like redemption, like a gift, not something to hide behind and once again be ridiculed for. She also said, I'm absolutely done with the shaming from other people and particularly myself. Which is fair, she's been shamed many times over the years, most notably Joan Rivers way back when. Granted, there's a lot of fans that feel like the billionaire philanthropist is being hypocritical. Once again, given that she's kind of been a spokesgirl for Weight Watchers for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. One person wrote, what I don't like about Oprah is she is clearly off doing Ozempic, but she's still pushing Weight Watchers. So other folks have added like, done with the shaming but okay with lying? And for the longest time, Oprah was like, oh, I let people think I just did it the old-fashioned way, and they want to know why she lied. Well, I'll tell you why. Ka-ching, ka-ching. I do get it. Body issues are a thing, I struggle with them myself, but like, don't lie about it. Back in 2012, Oprah gushed for weeks about Microsoft's Surface tablet, which she compared to a Mercedes, and she named one of her favorite things of 2012. If you know Oprah, her favorite things of the year, it's a huge deal. One day she went a step further. She sent out a Twitter message to her, I think like 14.8 million followers at the time, saying, love that Surface, and added that she'd already bought 12 of them for Christmas gifts. But there was one teeny tiny little proofreading problem here. Well, not proofreading, but you'll get what I mean. Oprah, or whoever managed her Twitter account at the time, sent that tweet from an iPad. So the people of the internet, who never miss the opportunity to poke fun at an online mess up, took notice. To quote one expert, she does have legions of fans, making her an effective marketing channel for Microsoft. Except when the narrative around her promotion is tossed on its head by a foolish and utterly avoidable mistake. Surface ads, not brought to you by iPad. Now sure, she might have had an iPad and a Surface at the same time. She did name the iPad one of her favorite things of years prior, but like, girl. And I get it, there was not a Twitter app for Surface at the time, but still. Alright, so the legend of Oprah Winfrey as an extremely poor person, growing up without a father, a too young mother who, as Oprah claimed, carried with shame during pregnancy and then neglected her, kinda spread when Oprah began giving interviews in Chicago, claiming, oh how they harmed me. I wanted to be white because I never saw white people being hurt. She claimed her early years were lonely. She didn't play with anybody except the pig she rode without a saddle in her grandmother's garden. She said the only thing I could talk to was the animals in the farmyard. She claimed she read them Bible stories. Apparently the years spent with a mother on welfare were even worse. She said we were so poor we couldn't afford a dog or a cat, so I had 2 cockroaches as pets. I put them in a jar, named them Melinda and Sandy. She very much entertained her audiences with these stories. She talked about fetching water from the well. She talked about milking cows, emptying the drinking pot. This was a fairy tale about growing up that she weaved and told. She told stories about her grandmother who swung a switch, a grandfather with a stick. These were the people who raised her for the earliest years of her life. She said, oh how they hurt me. Once again, she wanted to be white. She never saw white people being harmed. She said this over and over again, which is why I repeated it. She said that, an integral part of Southern tradition for her family, the way the old folks raised people was, you get a switch. You spill something, you know what happens. You tell a story, game over. And grandma could do that to her all day and never get tired. Now, not everybody in Oprah's family has agreed with this narrative. Her mother, Vernita Lee, when asked about her daughter's penchant for self-dramatization, said, Oprah's a bit of a cold smoker. If you don't know what that means, telling tall tales. Oprah's sister later dispelled the myth of immense poverty. She said, sure, we weren't rich, but Oprah exaggerated how bad it was for us. I guess the viewers would love her and the audience would grow. She didn't have cockroaches for a pet. She always had a dog, she had a white cat, she had an eel in a tank, a parakeet named Bo Peep. She went on and on. She said, her cousin, Catherine, said, where Oprah got that nonsense about growing up in filth and roaches, I have no idea. Catherine claimed that she even confronted Oprah, asking, why do you tell such lies? And Oprah said, that's what people want to hear. The truth is boring. And people did. They ate it up for years. Until there was a certain book that came out and everybody was like, oh, it's a fib. So back in March of 2010, Monique won the Best Supporting Actress Academy Award for her performance in Precious. But after that, her career kind of didn't really happen, didn't really take off. And she's opened up about what she claimed is her being blackballed in the entertainment industry. And she claims that it came at the hands of media moguls such as Oprah Winfrey. Now, you gotta remember, Oprah is the talk show host who had an interview with Monique's family just days after the big career accomplishment. She sat down with Monique's older brother, Gerald, who had sadly harmed Monique growing up. Allegedly, this was the first time he had admitted his crimes. He confessed to being a victim of the same actions by other family members. But folks, that didn't sit well with anybody. A lot of people online said that Oprah needed to answer for this because interviewing Monique's brother after her historic Oscar win doesn't make sense. It looked bad for Oprah. And people started to pick up on the fact that Oprah definitely seemed to have a mean cold sign. They wanted to know why she was so mean to Monique, why she was hurting her in this way. And Monique said it herself, Oprah crossed her on many different levels. She tried to reach out to Oprah, but her efforts to communicate didn't really go anywhere. So 3 years after that interview, Monique confronted Oprah at a celebration party for Lupita Nyong'o, when Lupita got the Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. So Monique described it as, Oprah was sitting on my right, and I turned to her and said, now I need to talk to you. And at that event, apparently when that went down, you could hear a pin drop. So Monique said, and I quote, since he didn't want to return my calls, for whatever reason, I'm going to say this right here. She asked, point blank, Oprah, why did you invite my family on the show? Because Monique wasn't really talking to her family at the time. And then Oprah tried to play it off. She said she had no idea the entire family was going to show up. She said, I didn't know anything about that. And then she added, and this is my favorite quote of all, folks, if I've done anything to offend you, I apologize. Which is such a non-statement. It's like, oh, I know I offended you. But if I did anything to hurt you, yes, you did. Just say you're sorry. So Oprah paid a fortune to Apple TV Plus chiefs to buy back the rights to a documentary about her life. So Apple announced with great fanfare in 2021 that Oscar-winning filmmaker Kevin McDonald would be directing a documentary about the talk show host turned media mogul turned billionaire that we all know and love or hate. However, sources say that McDonald, who teamed up with Oprah's longtime producer Lisa Esmeralda on the project, had clashed with the billionaire after he finished the film. And, unless I'm mistaken, it's been on ice ever since. So, and I quote, Kevin made the film, Oprah didn't like it, he refused to change it, and then Oprah paid her money back to Apple. This is according to a Hollywood source that is anonymous but apparently knows all. Somebody in the know says it wasn't in the 7 figures. Now, we gotta say, Oprah's documentary isn't the first high-profile one to be put on ice. Netflix's Years in the Making Prince documentary is being held hostage due to objections from the Grammy winner's estate. And I don't know, I think because he's already passed on, I think we can keep that one on ice. I don't think it's necessary. And that's all for today, folks. See you next time.